can't move my arms. We're the Lockwoods, and we're traveling the world to experience up close and in person all the natural wonders and distinct cultures that our kids would otherwise be learning about only through books and TV. Tokyo is home to some of the most fascinating spectacles in existence, and one of those is Tsukiji, the largest fish market in the world. In the wee morning hours, you can find individual tuna selling for as much as $3 million. But we're not that hungry or that rich, so we're in search of other delicacies, like the famous Fugu fish, which, with a toxin 1,000 times more deadly than cyanide, can kill you just by touch. Will our gastro-adventurous family risk eating it just for bragging rights? Let's get to it.
All right, since we're in Tokyo and we love food, we're gonna show you some of the convenience stores around the city.
No! The fish market! The fish!
That's right, we're going to the biggest fish market in the world, Tsukiji Fish Market. Tsukiji Fish Market. I should point out it's about 8:30 in the morning and none of us have eaten yet. So we're gonna get some maybe fish breakfast.
This is what's called the Outer Market, and it's one of the best places in Tokyo to sample street foods through all of these independently owned food stalls.
Wait, look, we gotta go down here. I found this little alley-looking thing. It seems like it goes into the center of the market.
So I think we're making our way to the inner market at this point, but you see these crowds? Part of this is because it's just a very popular place to go, but another piece is that this is a Wednesday. And some Wednesdays, a lot of the vendors will be closed, which means bigger crowds and longer lines for those places that are open.
Hey, you've gotta see this. I just passed the biggest oyster I've ever seen. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, it's not as big as I thought it was. From afar, they all looked like it was one. I like that they're grilling them. I typically like to eat the raw ones that are small, but cooked. The big ones are really good, like a cooked barbecued oyster and put it in a salad. Yummy. Strawberries!
Yeah, let's take a look, hon.
The white ones. So we learned in a previous episode that the less the color, the more the sugar in the strawberry. So these lighter strawberries are gonna be so sweet. And you'll notice that they get more expensive as they get lighter. So the more affordable strawberries are the deep dark red, and the very expensive strawberries are almost all white. And they're, of course, Brooklyn's favorite because they're the sweetest.
Yeah, I see some of the normal strawberries are about 700 yen, and those are probably bigger by weight. And then the white ones right over here that Brooklyn has in her hand, those are 1,800 yen.
And that's probably about $15 USD.
1,800 yen, super white strawberries it is. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. 15, so over 100 yen per strawberry. Okay, one of the biggest challenges here is always figuring out where to eat things. It's really crowded here, so we need to get out of the way. Can't go too far, because I think usually they want you to eat pretty close to the place you buy stuff.
Okay, guys.
Okay, wait. If you get a close-up on this, I would say it's a banana, but really, it tastes like a banana, though.
It's a little yellow.
You know, it tastes like a mango.
Even the leaves? I mean, I guess they're edible. Why not?
Next time you want her to eat her veggies, give her strawberries instead.
Oh my gosh, they smell so good. They smell so sweet. They smell like cookies and cream. I mean, peaches and cream. Strawberries and cream.
10 out of 10 best strawberries you've ever had.
It's a good strawberry, but honestly, it doesn't hold a candle to the one we had in Osaka. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Compared to the ones we had in Osaka, do you think these are outstanding or what?
I think the ones we had in Osaka were better because they're like in between and stuff. The ones in Osaka were better.
I don't even remember the ones in Osaka. I don't think I had those, but I had these and they're delicious. I'm still hungry. Let's see what else we can find. I'm gonna keep the bag we got because it's hard to find trash cans. So this is our trash can, guys, okay? We wanna do our part to keep Japan the cleanest. Tokyo is the cleanest city all over Japan. Is immaculate. It is the most beautiful country. Super curious about this. The pink comes from Sakura, which is the cherry blossom. And we just missed the cherry blossoms. They only last for about 2 weeks and we came right at the end of it, missed them, but now we get to eat them.
So the Ocampos, aka Mom Duty, our friends, said that this Dango was like the best thing they've ever tried. Said it was amazing.
Hanami is what the flavor is called. It says Hanami is cherry blossom viewing.
What's it taste like?
Nothing. I don't know.
This is how much sugar they have, that when they taste sugar, it just tastes like nothing. That's a typical flavor.
Wait, this is all sugar?
It's made of rice flour and sugar.
Oh, that's great. That tastes amazing. Tastes like really sugary rice.
I'll eat the last one since Aaron's gonna eat the other delicacy. You were absolutely right. I get almost no flavor whatsoever from that. Maybe a hint of like green tea or seaweed or something on that one, but very little flavor. It's satisfying to chew though, because it's very gelatinous, so it's almost like a little piece of gum for 30 seconds.
Here we go. Sakura. I don't know why my tongue keeps getting tied saying that. And I wonder if this is a leaf from a Sakura tree. Why can't I say it? Sakura tree. But I'm gonna take it with the leaf. It's served with the leaf. I'm assuming you take it with the leaf. The leaf has a little saltiness and sweetness to it, but look what's inside. It's bean paste. So I wonder if it's just because they're cherry blossoms that I have it in my head. It tastes like a cherry, like a maraschino cherry. You know, the bright red ones that you usually put in drinks and Sprites and stuff.
Who knew the cherry blossom tasted like a cherry?
It like gets sweeter as you chew it.
It tastes like a pickled leaf with cherry bean paste.
He's right, he's not wrong. A pickled leaf. That's where it's like maybe the vinegar and the saltiness that I'm getting on the outside. That was really good. 10 out of 10 bite.
Colt saw an alligator on the ceiling over here, so now he's asking around to see if they actually sell alligator so he can buy some alligator to eat some alligator. Any luck, bud?
Nope. I asked them if they have alligator, and they just said,
Maybe lost in translation a little bit.
This looks traumatizing to the fish. Imagine what you see last.
Fish on a stick. Oh, fish sticks.
They're cooking it and crisping it up with these blow torches. 3 blow torches for one little fish. The skin is starting to bubble, so I think it's getting close.
I love that Colt wants to try it. He's ready to jump right into the...
Arigato gozaimasu.
Awesome. They just came and gave the kids some snacks. That's so sweet.
Salty. Tastes like fish with a lot of salt. Yum. Because I like fish.
Look at this guy. It looks like a giant sardine, but I think it's a sweet fish cooked in salt. And then, of course, the fire making it all caramelized and crystallized. That's really delicious. No bones at all. They're either too soft or I'm just not biting in the right places, but no bones at all. Very salty in the best way. The skin is super crispy, almost like a fresh seaweed nori sheet, and there is a little hint of sweetness in the fish. I wasn't expecting it to taste like this. I was expecting maybe more of a mackerel or sardine.
But hey, speaking of seaweed, we're gonna hit another spot, and Brooklyn's gonna be the master of this particular one.
Love Tokyo. It's so fun here. Best part of travel are markets like this because this is where the locals go. Love being surrounded by it.
Ooh, they got drinks!
That's right, they get those in Denver.
We have a lot of sushi in Denver, Colorado, but if you don't know what Colorado is like, it's landlocked, it's in the middle of the country, it's a lot of mountains and very few oceans. For that reason, pretty much all of the good sushi restaurants there will fly their fish in from this market. We did an entire episode on Denver sushi restaurants, and one place in particular, Sushi Den, is owned by a couple of brothers, one of whom lives in Denver and another of whom lives here in Tokyo. And every morning we'll get up, come to this market, pick out the fish, put it on a commercial airliner to send it to that restaurant in Denver. We've had so much fish from this fish market before, even though we've never visited until today.
All right, we just got persuaded to buy some crab or seafood soup. A couple locals told us it was good. So it must be true. Arigato. I see big chunks of crab. It looks like that's mainly what they're selling. Oh, look at their mussels. This is how the locals do it. We're just crouching down at this table. It's awesome. And they're the ones that recommended. I got a lot of tofu in that and a little bit of crab. It's delicious so far. Oh, I love how flavorful it is. I'm gonna try this mussel. It's delicious. Colt loves mushrooms. It's hot. Yeah. So they take those crabs and they take the sauce from that and they put it in the soup. That's what gives it so much seafood flavor on top of all the seafood that's in there. Good, yeah. All right, let's keep going. Our new friends are gonna help us out. We're looking for a very specific seaweed.
Together, go.
Together? Yeah, you'll take it. Thank you. They're gonna be our guides. They're gonna take us.
The rest of the day.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Arigato. They've taken us all this way, and it's closed today because it's Wednesday. What are your names?
My name is Ayami. My name is Emi.
Emmy?
Emmy?
Ayami.
Ayami.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, one of the casualties of the Wednesday curse, but we can find some of this in any number of other places here, so we just need to find an alternate location for Brooklyn's special treat. Brooklyn, what we were trying to do was take you to a place called Maruyama Noriten, which is a seaweed specialty shop. So you could have gotten nori, but not just any nori. This is the place, it's got a 160-year history, and more than 60% of the Michelin-recognized restaurants in the city of Tokyo get their nori from this place.
I saw another seaweed place over here. Right here. It was at this moment that she knew she loved seaweed.
She's so funny, so dramatic.
So many different kinds and so many different sizes.
There are a few different things to choose from. There's the big sheets. You probably use that for sushi rolls and hand rolls. But then these look like they're snack size. And maybe we can take the leftovers home with us. The only problem is we don't know what flavor they are. There's a blue and a black, and I'm sure that means they have different flavors.
Soy sauce.
Okay, well, I think she knows which one she wants. Nori. All right, Brooklyn, should we just pack these and take them home?
Yeah.
You want to eat them now? In the middle of the street? All right, fine, let's do it. Take a sheet. Great flavor! Good choice, good choice. It's so thin, so crispy, and then that soy flavor, just like she said, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salt. So good.
Like, when you taste it, it reminds me of the noodle thing. And then the aftertaste reminds me of octopus.
I love how much you're enjoying the seaweed, but there is one more thing that Brooklyn goes nuts over, and I just passed it over there.
Fish eyes!
Fish eggs! Let's go get some. These little spoons, they're like nigiri, but without the nori, which we just ate. So this works out perfectly. And I think we want to try some sea urchin. And I know Brooklyn really wants those fish eggs, and Cole, big tuna fan. So we're gonna go with this luxury selection. Arigato.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Tastes like cereal.
Cereal. What do you love about fish eggs?
The pop.
They pop in your mouth, right? That's what I love about them too, is those little balls, especially the big salmon roe balls, because that's what that was, salmon roe. And when it pops, it like spreads all this saltiness throughout, and so it's really good with rice because it absorbs it. Cole can't wait, he's got to do his tuna.
It's so good.
And what do you love about tuna?
The taste.
Do we have to get complicated? No, it's just the taste. Now this one is a little controversial when it comes to taste. You either love it or you don't care for it. And it's sea urchin, also called uni. So it tends to have a lot of seafood flavor in it, or a lot of seafood taste, and I love it.
Seawater.
Seawater, that's right, not seafood, seawater taste to it. It's really smooth, and the flavor really spreads. It's kind of a creamy texture when you eat it. It looks like it's chopped up a bunch, but it really feels like one creamy texture. And it's seawater. That's what it tastes like, is seawater, but subtle seawater, not bad taste at all. It's good, it's quite good here.
What is this? Back?
Yeah.
Is it A5 or no?
A5.
Could we have 2 skewers?
Okay, thank you very much.
This is what I've been holding out for all day. Hey Siri, what is 70 grams in ounces? 2.5 ounces, and it's 2,500 yen. Hey Siri, what's 2,500 yen to US dollar? $18.25. So each one of these skewers is $18.25, but that's for 2.5 ounces. And back home for us, this same steak would be about $36 an ounce.
So we're saving so much money by flying to Japan. Offsets our flights by far.
Thank you.
Go ahead, take a real bite. How is it?
Some more of yours, Dada.
You wish you'd gotten a whole skewer to yourself now?
Oh, it's so good. So fatty and juicy and amazing. Perfectly seasoned. Oh, I love Wagyu.
The thing about Japanese Wagyu A5 certified steak is that it is just so marbleized with fat. You don't end up with meaty lean bites and then fatty bites. It's all just homogenized into a single buttery, soft piece of steak. He seasoned it perfectly too. Just salt and pepper, that's all you need. It's not marinated. You don't want to mess with the quality of the steak itself. You just let that flavor shine through. Probably the most expensive and most delicious steak on the planet right there. If you're wondering why this is called a fish market and we haven't really seen a single whole fish, the reason for that is that they've moved that part of the market about a 10-minute drive away to Toyosu Market. If you get up at 5 a.m. and want to see the actual fish auction, you can get down there and do that. And if you win the lottery that they have on site, you can actually watch the action from the observation deck. Otherwise, you'd be watching from a second floor through a window. But there's really one main thing that we would want to find there anyway, and we found another place that we can get some of this. That thing is the world famous Fugu, AKA PufferFish, AKA Blowfish.
We have our own little room.
Fugu has a very rich history in Japan. In fact, how long do we know they've been eating fugu here, Cole?
2,500 years.
And how long ago was the first known death from fugu poisoning, Brooklyn?
2,300 years ago.
That's right, good job. In the year 1500, the de facto ruler of Japan actually outlawed it because people kept dying so much. Even with it being outlawed because of the poisonings, it didn't stop people. It was such a popular dish that everybody from commoners to intellectuals continued eating it.
1958, about 170 people in Japan died from fugu poisoning, and that's when they implemented a law where the chefs need to be trained and licensed in order to serve it. I'm getting really nervous about eating this blowfish after all this poison talk. I gotta look up the nearest hospital just to be safe. Safety first. But what even happens when you eat blowfish? Like, how quickly does it take effect and what even happens to you?
So this toxin that's inside of the fish is about 1,000 times more potent than cyanide. And it can be found primarily in their liver, in their testes, in their ovaries, and sometimes in the skin. It all depends on which variety, which species of blowfish you're eating. Now the toxin forms in the fish because of them eating a bacteria that is found on coral. What happens when humans ingest the poison is it acts to inhibit our absorption of the sodium into our muscles. Without that, you're essentially paralyzed. You're paralyzed in literally every muscle in your body, including heart, lungs, everything, so you can't even breathe, and you end up dying through asphyxiation. How long does it take for you to die once you ingest the poison?
60 minutes.
I'm gonna start my timer right now because we have some sashimi. The sashimi is called fugu sashi, and it is the most thinly sliced sashimi you've ever seen in your life. And they usually serve it on colored or colorfully patterned plates so that you can see how translucent it is. This is a blue plate. You can see right through to the plate. You see how paper thin these slices are. Now the way we want to eat this is to start by taking this little citrus. It's like a lime, but it's not actually a lime. It's called the sudachi. We're gonna squeeze that right over the top. And then you can take a little bit of the green onion and some of the greens that are on here, leeks, and mix that stuff together. But ultimately what we want to do is roll up a little piece here, and then we just barely dip it in our ponzu sauce. This isn't like dipping sushi in soy sauce because that's so basic. This is actually a very specific recipe for each restaurant. They make a really big deal out of perfecting this sauce. Really pretty chewy. Reminds me a little bit of octopus and how chewy it is, but a very mild flavor. It's delicious. I'm gonna try the next one without onion, without leek, just to get a better sense of the flavor. But I already really like it. Nice and chilled. Seriously, one of the most mild flavored fish I've ever tasted in my life. And I do love the texture. It's very satisfying to have that bite to it, that chew.
My baby!
What do you think, Cole?
It's like octopus, chewy, really chewy.
And there's so many different ways to prepare it. So it'll be really cool to see if the cooked ones or the fried ones are just as chewy. But the sashimi, very chewy, but not in a bad way. Not in a way where you feel like it shouldn't be. You're still getting the flavor you're supposed to, the subtle flavor.
And that's all pufferfish.
And we have some sides here. Like these are green onions chopped up, more of this red paste. We gotta find out what that is. But clear, thin pieces, that's the skin. Also very chewy, but it holds a lot of flavor from the sauce that it's in.
Our water for the hot pot is boiling, so we're gonna be able to start cooking that stuff on our own soon. This is really cool how they put it on our table so that we can do it on our own. Oh, and now we have the deep fried. This is breaded and oh, crispy, so crispy. I can't even bend it. So that's gonna be great for the kids.
Oh, it's so hot.
I don't get any of the octopus flavor or texture in this one. Once it's cooked, this tastes just like a cod or something. Yeah, it's very flaky. Now we're gonna dig into the fugu nabe, which is the hot pot. We have to cook it ourselves at the table, but we have instructions. So it says once the water or the broth comes to a boil, which it clearly has, we wanna remove the kale, put the larger fish meat into the pot. Hey Siri, start a timer for 10 minutes. Next thing we want to do is put some green onions and red chili radish into the bigger ponzu bowl. So that's this one.
And now while we wait, we're gonna have some sake, but some special sake that's fugu forward. It is called hiro. It is called hire, and it's sake with the fugu fin soaked in it and torched. So it gives it a smoky flavor. It's like the mezcal of Tokyo. I'm not sure if we're supposed to sip it right from here or add it to the sake, but maybe we'll try a little bit of both. Definitely sake in here. And it's really delicious. It does have like a smoky, more of like a char taste to it. I think you just sip it right out of here.
That's satisfying. Very little fishy taste, maybe? That's a great way to have hot sake. Much better than plain hot sake. Adds a whole nother dimension. I think tastes smoky, baby. I think we're good. Time's up. We gotta get this other batch in here. These cook for 5 minutes. So I think we'll give it just a couple of minutes here, and then we'll add the last components to the hot pot. Oh my God, guys, I can't move my arms. Just kidding.
I'm gonna put the rest of these ingredients in here because they have to cook as well.
By waiting to put the vegetables in until the very last minute, you get more of the fish flavor from having all of that stew in there for 5 to 10 minutes.
I'm so excited about this part. And I'm really curious, like, how to just eat it. I'm gonna just take a bite. This is my favorite way to eat it. This is the way, the hot pot. This is the best. The fish, instead of being rubbery or chewy or a little bit flavorless, it has so much flavor and it is a flaky white fish now. It's so delicious, but you have to work around some bones. Actually, I'm gonna try some of these noodles. Look how it soaks up that sauce.
It tastes like tuna with soy sauce with tomatoes.
You like it?
Yes.
We have had so much luck in Japan. Brooklyn is a bit pickier than the rest of us, but in Japan, she loves the fish eggs, she loves the nori, she loves the rice, she loves some of the sushi. The noodles, she loves the noodles. There's so much great food here, and Brooklyn likes it, so that means everybody's gonna like it.
You know, in the not too distant past, it was actually a common practice for thrill seekers to eat the poisonous parts of this fish just to get the equivalent of what we might do to have a little bit of a buzz from certain foods. They would eat a little piece of liver, just enough so that they would be paralyzed for a couple of hours. Nuts.
Can they blink or breathe?
I have no idea, but isn't that crazy? Get him now while I'm still alive. You can eat fugu year round, but the best time to have it is in the winter months because the water is colder. It results in a fattier and tastier fish.
Okay guys, I'm a little nervous. How are you feeling?
Like I'm gonna die in 30 minutes.
In all honesty, we're not worried because 90% of the blowfish that you're eating in restaurants is farmed blowfish, and there's no coral involved, so there's no risk of poisoning. And that is where this restaurant, we're at Fugu, they get their blowfish from a farmer. And they have a very delicate process of transferring them. First, they transfer them in a tank, and then they carry them in water by hand to the restaurant each morning. So this guy was swimming in the farm this morning. But really, we would never put our kids at risk. Never, not even a little bit.
Speaking of these fish being able to raise families, one of the most popular and sought after preparations for fugu, at least during the winter months, is the shirako gland, which is the reproductive gland for the male fish filled with semen or milt. And this is supposed to be an absolute delicacy. I was really hoping we would get to try that one, but maybe it's because it's May, we're not going to get to. But that one is a real sought after preparation for the fish. But back to what Aaron was saying about 90% of the fish being farm raised now, the vast majority of poisonings today actually happen from people who catch the fish out in the wild and maybe don't necessarily know what they have caught, and then they take it home to prepare it. They don't understand how to do it, and that risk exists. That's where you're gonna run into that problem.
What's not to like? Egg, rice, broth, it's all there. But I was blown away that they brought more food. I couldn't believe it.
I feel like maybe it's similar in sweetness to the Japanese omelet that you would have on sushi, because there's just a little bit of sweetness, or at least it seems like there's sweetness in that omelet. This is really satisfying to me. I think it's good.
Make sure to subscribe and like and follow and everything else that will cause us to do more crazy things like that. Goodbye.
That was great, and a great way to end not just the episode, but our trip in Japan. We love this country, and we cannot wait to come back and explore even more. There's so much more to do here, and we will be back. So subscribe, follow us along, and we'll see you in the next episode.
We're the Lockwoods. Aaron, Phil, Reagan, Brooklyn, and Cole. We're traveling the world to experience, up close and in person, all the natural wonders and distinct cultures that our kids would otherwise be consuming only through textbooks and TV. We think it's a better way to learn, and we're working hard to fund this little experiment in the hope that our kids will grow up wiser, kinder, and more grateful for the beauty of our diverse planet and its people.
Wait, if he eats it.
Oh no.
Get it, quick.
Seaweed has a lot of nutritional qualities to it, and it can clean out. No, I don't want to go down that path.
What? Make sure to check out Always Be Changing on www.alwaysbechanging.com, where we do crazy things that cause death or cancer. Examples like us looking into a microwave.
You're hilarious.
Us eating unpoisonous PufferFish.
So many things wrong with that little outro. I don't know who owns alwaysbechanging.com, but you're welcome.
It's followabc.com.
I have an outro. All right, that's it for today's adventure. Bean C out. Peace.